This is the all-new 2019 Toyota Corolla Hatchback. Now, while this may be an all-new design, Toyota has had hatchbacks for a number of years. In fact, the Toyota Matrix, which ran from 2002 to 2014, was a hatchback. Then with the Scion, they had the Toyota IM, or the Scion IM, which later, when Scion went away, they rebranded it to be the Toyota IM. With this all-new Toyota Corolla hatchback, it has a whole new design, all of the Toyota Safety Sense features, which we will go over some of these features, take it out on the road, and see how she handles. For the all-new Toyota Corolla hatchback, they offer two models here in the US, an SE and an XSE model. Both trim levels will come with the LED headlights as well as the sporty honeycomb grille. As you can see with Toyota Safety Sense, you get the radar cruise control and the pre-collision with the lane departure built in. The front end of this all-new Corolla hatchback is a very aggressive but attractive design. I really like how it looks. Now, under the hood of this all-new Toyota Corolla hatchback is a brand new engine from Toyota. It's their naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder direct force engine. Now, this new direct force engine, because of its all-new design, is designed to be more efficient, providing more horsepower and more torque compared to other vehicles in its class. The horsepower rating on this vehicle engine is 168 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque. Your transmission choices are either going to be a 6-speed manual transmission or a CVT transmission that will simulate 10 gears. Otherwise, I've driven this vehicle. This engine with this CVT transmission is pretty peppy. I think you'll find it pretty enjoyable. Now, in the back of the Corolla hatchback, they do come with LED taillights, which is really nice. Of course, you got your backup camera right here, but the main feature of this vehicle is its hatchback. So let's open it up and check it out. Now, when you open up the hatchback, there's not a lot of storage here, only about 18 cubic feet. So, you know, not a lot of room. You can, fit a couple of large luggage, maybe one golf bag, but that's about it. One of the reasons why is you have this high floor, which, you know, is pretty much where your spare tire, your jacks and everything like that. So, you know, that really eats up into the space versus having the, you know, the spare tire sunk in a little bit further down. You do have a little bit of pocket storage here on the side. Now, you do have this little trunk cover here that you can detach by unhooking these strings, and they pop right off. Now, when you lay the 60/40 split folding seats down, that it does increase it from 18 to 23.3 cubic feet of storage. So that, you know, at that point does become very useful. But as it sits right now, 18 cubic feet is a little on the small side, especially in this class of vehicles. Now, stepping into the back seat of the Corolla hatchback, as you can see, the door doesn't open very wide, and there's a narrowing here at the bottom, but getting in isn't too bad. Now, this is my driving position here. As you can see, I've got plenty of leg room. I've got still a decent amount of headroom, but there's not a lot of amenities back here. I mean, you've got hard touch plastic here. You've got a nice padded area here with some, you know, stitching there. But that's pretty much it. There's no AC vent. There's no USB control. There's not even a 12-volt outlet back here for, you know, say my kids to plug in and charge some type of tablet or anything like that. You do have 60/40 split folding seats that lay flat. You do have a center armrest with some basic cup holders. But other than that, that's about it. Again, I mean, it's comfortable back here, but I just wish they'd have a little bit more amenities back here. Otherwise, I could be back here for a long trip with no problem. Now stepping into the driver's seat, the door opens nice and wide. Getting in is pretty easy. The door has a nice solid feel to it. You do get soft padded leather here. Again, nice soft touch here. You got one touch for your driver's side, but everything else is manual windows. You got to hold those to bring them down or up. You do have your power side view mirror controls here. You have the standard Toyota 3-spoke steering wheel with all of the standard controls. Now again, this vehicle is going to have the pre-collision lane departure. You do get this tablet style 8-inch screen here. One thing I noticed when I was driving this vehicle is it kind of, for me, it kind of, I guess, blocks the view. Not that it really blocks the windshield, it's just kind of right there. I wish maybe it was a little bit more sunken in or kind of merged into the dash, but you know, that's the way people are going. Manufacturers are producing. You know, the dash is soft padded. You got nice stitching, soft padded there. The seats have this nice design which matches the front sport grille. You know, you got AC automatic climate controls. They're not dual climate, but they're automatic climate controls. You do have the electronic brake hold, as well as the different sport mode and manual mode. You do have a nice little spot here for your cell phone, 2 cup holders. You got plenty of storage bin here in the door, and then you've got a USB outlet right here, along with a 12-volt outlet and a small storage right there. So yeah, I mean, it's a nice, comfortable place to be in the driver's seat. Now that we're inside the vehicle, let's take it out on the road and see how she handles. So my initial impression of this vehicle, as far as how it drives, is it's pretty quiet. I mean, I do hear a bit of wind noise. I do hear a little bit of road noise, but not too much. I can hear the engine, especially if I get on it. But otherwise, it's very comfortable ride. For the most part, pretty quiet, like most Toyota vehicles are. So like all new Toyota vehicles, this vehicle does have Toyota safety sense. So it does have the radar cruise control and the pre-collision with the lane departure. So if I start drifting into the other lanes, it'll actually beep and let me know that I'm drifting. I don't know, you know, how useful a feature that is for some. I guess, you know, again, it's nice if it's late at night and you're starting to get a little drowsy. Maybe you have trouble seeing the lines. But otherwise, I mean, it's nice to have. I'm not sure if I would keep that lane departure feature on. I would probably turn it off. I do have a tendency of switching lanes sometimes without using my blinkers. I know that's not right. But you know, sometimes I forget to use my blinkers and I just want to get into the other lane real quick. Otherwise, one feature that I like that, you know, was in the Avalon that I tested earlier is the automatic brake hold. So I've come to a complete stop. The electronic brakes are actually keeping the vehicle stationary while the light is red. And then again, all I have to do is just put my foot on the gas pedal, and the vehicle releases the brake and starts moving forward. So I do really like that feature, not having to just keep my foot pressed on the brake pedal, like so. So the gauges in this vehicle are pretty clear. You got your tach on the left side. You've got a big gauge in the center for your speed, as well as your fuel gauge at the bottom of that. And then over to the right side, you've got this 4.2-inch LCD screen, which gives you all of your information, your lane departure lines when it sees it, your digital speedometer, distance to empty, your odometer. This does also have speed sign recognition, so it tells me right now that my speed limit is 45. So that's actually kind of cool, especially if I forget, you know, how fast, what road I'm on, how fast the speed is. I can just look down there and it actually knows until the next sign it catches and updates the speed limit. But right now it's telling me this road is 45, so that's really nice to know, so I can make sure I'm not, speeding or going over the speed limit. So that's really nice. This new Intune 3.0 does have Apple CarPlay, does work with Alexa, but unfortunately still doesn't have Android Auto. So for you Android users, you're going to have to continue to wait on that. Now, whether Toyota decides to release an update and give you that capabilities, I hope they can. But otherwise, for right now, if you have Apple CarPlay, that will work just fine. So again, talking about the handling, I mean, yeah, this is a fun little car. Now, it's not going to be like a Civic, Honda Civic R type R. It's not going to be that kind of fun, but it's not your typical boring Toyota vehicle. The suspension soaks up the bumps fairly well. The steering is pretty direct. The minute you move the wheel, the car wants to turn in that direction. So, it handles pretty good. This all-new engine here, again, is pretty peppy. Again, it's pretty nice. Again, with 168 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque. The straight line speed is 8.7. Now, it feels faster than that. When I actually step on it, it actually feels faster than that. When you get on it, makes a lot of noise, but it pushed me in my seat a little bit. I do feel though that it is faster than an 8.7 0 to 60 car. It feels more like like a 6.9, maybe even a mid 7. But again, they say it's 8.7, but again, this car does feel pretty quick. The engine is very responsive when you step on the gas, and that's not even being in sport mode. So in sport mode, it does change the mapping a little bit, but I don't feel a huge difference there. But again, this car is pretty sporty and fun to drive. It's also a good daily driver, but it's not a boring car. It's got a little bit of spirit to it. Well, that will conclude this quick review of the 2019 Toyota Corolla Hatchback. Now, if this is the first time watching one of my reviews and you like it, please hit that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button so you can be notified for when I upload my next review. Again, my name is Mike Smith with Straight Line Speed. Thank you so much for watching this review, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video.